Radio Raheem here with Shane McGuigan. You've had, sorry about that, you've had quite a bit of success here recently. You know, people are singing your praises. Always tough, though, when a loss comes along and on such a good winning streak. How does it feel now knowing that that third fight, they say they want it, but you're not sure, you never know if they're going to get it because there's no rematch clause for this one?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Leo's a man of his word. You know, I just don't know if we'll get it back in Belfast. I think we'll get it, but it's just about where we get it. Very disappointed with tonight. Didn't think Carl was at his best, anywhere near his best, but showed some serious courage, dug deep, and put on a great fight.
You say you didn't feel like Carl was at his best. What wasn't there tonight that should have been?
Well, we had a great camp. We had a great, you know, in the dressing room he was firing. He was looking great. But it's just that first minute, first round, he kind of, you know, just went to sleep a little bit. Got caught square. Got caught with good hard shots from Santa Cruz. Leo was on point from the first bell, and since then we were playing catch up a little bit, you know. And Carl's a guy that, you know, he builds into the fight. You know what I mean? He's a good counter puncher, clever guy, and when he's a couple of rounds, you know, he's a few rounds down straight away, you know, he's forcing the fight, and I just think for him, you know, just a bit gutted for him, you know, and looking for too many hard shots, trying to stamp his authority early on in the fight. In the first fight, for instance, he caught him with a hard left hook, and you know, got Leo's attention. Leo got his attention in the first fight, in the first round. Carl was looking for a hard shot to sort of bring himself back into it and loading up and just becoming a little bit too predictable.
When I talked to Carl before the fight, he said that he thought this would be an easier fight than the first fight, that there was nothing really Santa Cruz could do to make an adjustment. Is that the same attitude that you came into this fight with? Like, you guys had bested him the first time and there was no adjustments he could make?
No, it's not so much that. You know, I definitely didn't think he had that in him. I didn't think he had that discipline, because I think, you know, once Leo gets hit with a hard shot, I feel like he normally reverts back to himself and throws a million punches and then becomes predictable. But credit where it's due, got hit at range and stuck to his game plan and stepped back well and punched off his steps really well. And Carl just, you know, was falling short, wasn't getting his range in with his jab, and it just was a little bit forced. But once he did get his feet going, you know, he started taking rounds, and I thought, yeah, lack of experience a little bit, finishing the rounds a little. You know, Leo was finishing the round strong. Carl was sort of, you know, giving away the last 30 seconds of a round. And you know, we're over in Las Vegas, a place that Leo's fought so many times. You know, I'm trying to get him to be focused for 3 minutes, but just as I said, just not one of his best performances. But credit to Leo and his team. From
my perspective at ringside, it felt like the championship rounds, as they call them, when those body shots started landing from Leo, that was really what edged it for me. Did you feel when those body shots started landing that was a huge threat for the fight, and how did you want him to counter it? Yeah,
it was about round 6 or 7. Yeah, bad round for Carl. But you know, he was forcing it and he was getting caught square, and Leo was working the body really, really well. I don't think it really took much out of Carl. They were good shots, but it was more of just, you know, you're getting caught square and you're looking clumsy. But I thought I gave Leo the 11th, and I thought, you know, Carl nicked the 12th. But it's just one of these things, isn't it? I mean, it was a nip and tuck fight. It could have, you know, I had it a draw, to be honest, but I could see how Leo won it by a point.
Lastly, if you see the same Leo Santa Cruz again, which apparently is no guarantee, you never know who he's going to come in as now. Right. What does Carl have to do to be prepared for whoever comes in that ring across from him in the body of Leo Santa Cruz? How's he going to get ready?
I mean, look, as I said, Carl just wasn't himself tonight. I just didn't think it was his best performance by any stretch of imagination. When he's at home, when he's fired up, he needs to fight at home. You know, he deserves that. And if Leo Santa Cruz wants to come over the water, and no matter what game plan he brings to Belfast, I think Carl Frampton beats him.
When a fighter loses his first fight, you never know how he's going to respond. They always feel they're invincible. The loss is not something they've ever tasted before. Mentally, have you already had a conversation with him at all? Do you feel it's necessary to deal with that part of the fight?
Yeah, you know, he's taken it he's put on an brave face. You know, he's had his first loss. He's gutted about it. He feels like he's let people down. I said, Carl, you're not let anyone down. Just didn't box to your best. Let's go out there and make that wrong or right, and let's go back and you know, to be honest, he does things in the gym and that what I don't see in the ring, and I need to bring that out of him, and he needs to bring it out himself. And whether that's having a first defeat, that might bring it out, because you know, it gives him that hunger to be in that gym a little bit more. And you know, I mean, he spends so much time away from his family and stuff like that. But you know, he gets through a few sessions, and now having the defeat, you know, I know he'll be knocking the door down to come in and better himself. And I think it might be a blessing in disguise.
With 2 fights so close, the margins so tight, everybody talks about what the fighters could do differently. Is there anything that you feel like you could do differently to give Carl that edge? What would you change, if anything, about your performance?
No, I mean, one of those things, look, is just critique from everywhere, from every angle. You know, I can work a little bit more with him, working on the inside, using his jab, establishing his jab. He was pouring the jab to throw the right hand, and he was showing the right hand all night long. He needs to move his head and snap a hard jab off it and believe in his jab, rather than, you know, I think that's one of the things that he just didn't do tonight. You know, he was just looking for hard shots and not using his jab. He's got one of the best jabs in the gym. You know, I've got George Groves, I've got David Hay, I've got good guys in the gym, and he's got equally as good of a jab. He just doesn't believe in it. I think I need to bring that out of him. And yeah, from myself, I mean, it's just as big of a learning experience for me as it is for Carl. And you know, we'll go back and we'll work hard and try and get that W.
I've seen your work on this side of the pond and your own. You've done well. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks, Shane McGuigan. Radio Raheem with Shane McGuigan. Hopefully we'll see you again in Belfast.
Let's do it.